Hello everyone, Artemu the Violent Wizard here, and today we are beginning a brand new adventure in a very special game that I consider one of my favorite adventures of all time. Chrono Trigger. This game is highly regarded as one of the best from the SNES era and is still regarded as a classic to this day. It started off as a passion project between the creators of Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, as well as the creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama. And obviously Tell was the main art director for this game, and yeah, this is definitely a very special one to be getting into. I've always just been very entranced with this game ever since I first heard about it online. Despite owning an SNES growing up, I never actually got to play this game until my adult years, but certainly worth the wait, because yeah, this is just an incredible experience when I finally got to play it for myself, and I'm gonna be very excited to get to show off some of the things and thoughts that I have regarding this game as we go forward. So there are a variety of different versions of this game that you're able to play. I'm specifically playing the Steam release, which should be a pretty decent version for us to go through this adventure. I know the DS version is usually regarded as one of the best ways to experience the game, but I feel like this would be this particular version would be very doable for us here on the channel. So hopefully we're gonna have a good time in this. Probably gonna turn the volume down just a little bit, because it looked a little loud on my OBS there. Okay, should be all good here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the animated cutscene there to help introduce this game. That was not on the original SNES version. That was specifically in one of the later releases. But yeah, ever since this game's release in 1995, it has just been well regarded as one of the best games that Square Enix ever released. To this day, it is well regarded as one of the best RPGs on the console, and even to this day, it is just such a treat to go back to this one. I definitely consider it one of the greatest adventures I've ever gotten to experience. It just hits so much of the things I love in a video game here. But, yep, we're going to be starting a brand new adventure here. I have previously played one file of this game to completion, so I may be a little rusty in places, but we'll try to get through this game at a decent pace, depending on how things go here for the next couple of months. Let's start ourselves a new file. I can show you all the options you can have for your controls here, so that should be pretty good. And then we have another menu here to decide some things that'll be interesting. Battle mode is going to be very interesting for this particular game. So you're able to set it to an active style where time flows constantly during battle, or you can have it set to wait when you're trying to select certain options during battle, it will cause time to stop. Normally I recommend playing this on active, but considering that this stream is going to be definitely going to focus on us having to talk in the midst of combat, I feel like weights would be pretty good for us to be able to handle things here. Gonna play on the original graphics setting, and the interface should be good, so we'll just begin our adventure. So the first thing available to you is being able to name our protagonist. So the main character of this game is canonically known as Chrono. However, I'm going to be changing you to my own name. Now, sadly, the character limit is only 5 for whatever reason. So we're going to have to be a little creative here and going to have to not include the E in my name. So it's a little awkward, but should be fine. Is Hayden correct? Technically not, but whatever. Hayden! Hayden! Hayden, are you still sleeping? Come on, sleepyhead. It's time to get up. Dear me, I'd forgotten how beautiful Lean's bell sounds. You must have been so excited about the Millennial Fair you couldn't sleep last night, could you? Well, you better not let that giddiness get you in any trouble. I want you to behave yourself today. Come on now, out of bed with you. It's the main character here, starting off his adventure at home. He's got himself a mother as well as a cat here. So I love if you just close the curtains if you want. It's a little small thing, but it's a pretty neat little detail. Yep, so got ourselves our adventure here. So I definitely love the look of the main character sprites in this game compared to something like the Final Fantasy games that were on the same console. You can really tell just how improved the sprite quality is here compared to those games. It's about time. By the way, you're gonna go see... Oh dear, what was her name? That young adventurous friend of yours. So you get an opportunity to name another character we'll see in this adventure. So this lady is canonically known as Luca, and that's the name we're gonna go for in this journey. That's right, Luca! You're gonna stop by and see her new adventure at the fair, aren't you? Well, run along then, and be back before dinner. Sure thing. Well, you can interact with your little cat. All it does is mew at you. Very cute. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's your allowance, dear. Have fun at the fair. So by talking to her mother, she actually gives us a bit of spending money. Well, run along then and be back before dinner. Such a quaint opening to this adventure here, but believe me, we got a lot that we are going to be seeing. So after leaving our house, we find ourselves in our overworld. So yeah, this area doesn't really have much of a name. I believe the planet's just generally referred to as Earth. And if you just wait around, it actually displays the year this takes place, 1000 AD. So I'm gonna go ahead and save here. We're gonna save in this file down here so as to not overwrite my complete file from the last time I played this game, which was a couple years ago, man. So over here in the main menu here, we obviously have a lot of different settings we can do, though there's not a whole lot we're able to go through at the moment. You can check our main character's current equipment, you obviously have various bits of armor that you can equip to up your defenses, as well as your weapons, which is a sword, and then you also got accessories, which can help improve other stats. You can go into your inventory to get a look at the various items you have, which can be useful to you. Then we got techs, which will be something we'll go over a bit later. Our party here, you're able to swap around your party members, of which we only have one. And then we have settings, which we're not going to worry about. So how about we check out a few of the things that we can see around town. It's hard to believe our kingdom has stood for 1,000 years now. Our king is the 33rd descendant to the throne of Guardia. It's a miracle he can manage to rule the kingdom when he can't even keep his own daughter in hand. She's probably throwing a fit at the castle this very moment, demanding he let her go to the fair. Like many RPGs, it's a good idea to talk to many of the folks you see throughout this world, because usually they can give you good hints about things you can see and do around this world. And in general, pretty good to check buildings, as you can usually see a lot of different things around here. So you can see from the inn here that Chrono's hometown is known as Truce. And how about we talk to some more of the locals? That girl Luca was over in the square going on about how she made the discovery of a lifetime. Pretty interesting. Something tells me I'm as happy now as I'll ever be. Well, for some people, that's basically how their lives are gonna go. So we can check out the market over here. Visit our stall in Lean Square. Huh, I guess that store isn't open right now. So we can go talk to the mayor over here. Hello, is this your first visit? Would you like me to tell you about this house? Our mayor's a soft spot for adventurers. He's established this manor as a library of adventuring know-how. The contents of the chest of this house were placed by him and for adventurers to use. Feel free to take anything you like. Well, that's good to know. You can run by using the directional buttons. Hold down B if you want to walk. You can switch the run and walk commands for the movement option in the settings menu. So that's good advice to this kid. So basically, the mayor's residence is your tutorial area, which will give you all the information you need about controlling and doing other things. I can teach you about weapons and armor. Need a refresher course? Nah, I can pretty much go over that. So over here is a chest. You can check that in order to get an item. In which case, we got a potion. That is a healing item, restoring up to 50 HP. Explanation on how to use menus. No, I'm pretty good there. Scattered throughout the world are points where time's memory is deeply rooted. You can record the progress of your adventures at such places, fraught with danger as they may be. So this little space here, we can check in order to save your game. That's just a replica, but I recommend you save your progress whenever you find a real one. They tend to show up in dangerous places. Oh, and one other thing. You can save at any time when you're in the world map. Don't let that slip your mind. You can walk around while reading messages. Go too far away, you won't be able to hear the person talking anymore. You can toggle the position of the message window between the top and bottom of the screen by pressing X. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. But yep, you can indeed switch where the text box is. Quite an interesting detail. Shelters are quite useful. Do you know about them? No. You can use shelters at save points or anywhere on the world map to completely restore HP and MP. They come in very handy. Oh, I thought you'd give me one. Never mind. So let's check upstairs and see what we got. Alright, I can teach you about text. Do you want to learn? Nah, we'll go over that later. Shall I teach you the basics of battle commands? Maybe later. Want me to share some insight? Sure. I can tell you got potential. You'll learn a number of skills or techs as you fight more battles. Techs are special attacks that utilize your weapons as well as your own innate potential. But mastering them requires repeated practice and training. Keep at it! We'll surely remember that. We get 100 G from that chest. What about the types of status ailments you can suffer in combat? Yeah, I feel like this would be good to know. Certain enemy attacks inflict detrimental status ailments in addition to ordinary damage. Poison. HP gradually decreases and attacks are weakened. Slow. Lengthens the waiting time between turns. Sleep. Puts you to sleep, preventing you from acting. A good hit will wake you up again. Confuse. Confuses you into attacking allies. This could be a little tough on friendships. Blind. Clouds your vision, making it difficult to hit enemies. Lock. Prevents the use of techs. Stop. Immobilizes and disables you. These status ailments lower your defense as well, meaning you'll sustain more damage when they're in effect. Use a panacea to remove them during battle, or wait until the battle ends and you'll recover automatically. Would you like to hear more? Sure. When your HP is reduced to 0, you'll be KO'd. Athenian water can revive a fallen party member, but if the entire party's KO'd, you're out of luck. Be careful. Hold down LB and RB to escape from battle. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. Of course, he who always runs away will never get any stronger, so don't flee from every battle just because you can. Oh, and let me explain the equipment menu too. The number next to the sword icon indicates attack. The number beside the shield icon indicates defense. Defense represents how effectively physical attacks can be resisted. Magic defense, on the other hand, is used to resist magical attacks. If your magic defense is 40, for example, magic damage dealt to you will be reduced by 40%. Stars in place of a number besides an attribute means the attribute has reached its highest possible value. So that's good to know for later when we're actually getting into combat situations. But yeah, that's everything you can see at the mayor's residence. Pretty nice, honestly. You been to the fair yet? No? What are you doing here, then? You'll have to wait 1,000 years for another Millennial Fair. The festivities are in Lean Square, just up north. More tents and stalls than you can shake a stick at. Welcome, welcome. Make yourself at home. Suppose you won't be staying long, though. Oh, I hope my shift ends soon. I want to go to the fair, too. Man, I've been there. Can you spare 10G to buy me a drink? Sure. Thanks! Let me play you a song in return. So I love these little points where you can interact with various NPCs like this. In that case, paying the girl at the piano will cause her to play a different song here. Lodging is 10G. Like to stay the night? Let me know if you change your mind. So, inns can be used to replenish your HP and MP, though you do have to pay to use their services. Remember that earthquake we had the other day? No? You're an oblivious one, aren't you? Well, never mind then. We've been having far too many lately. Hope it's not a sign of something bad about to happen. Nah, I'm sure we'll be fine. This box has been handed down for generations. Should you somehow manage to open it, you're welcome to the contents. A mysterious force seals it shut. So over here at the inn, there's this mysterious black box here that is shut by a mysterious force. There's nothing we're going to be able to do about that until much later, so we're just going to leave that be for the time being. Now, there's a lot more that we're able to see if we were to explore this vast world of ours, but I'm only going to stick to a few areas for the time being. Let's go check out Luca's house. Wow, this place is certainly... It's certainly messy, I'll give it that. So we head over this way. We can head upstairs. So I believe this is actually Luca's bedroom. There's not much we can really see over here. It is good to check these various areas because you never know when you could find a hidden item that would be very helpful to you. Oh, hello there. Oh, hello, Hayden. Luca's off at Lean Square with her father, Tobin, unveiling her new invention. So this is Luca's mother, Lara. Bit of an understated fact here, but Lara is unable to leave her chair as she's actually disabled. Her legs do not work. So it's a shame she's not able to accompany her daughter and her husband to the fair. Really feel bad for Lara. Can be really tough having to live with a disability, you know. But now that we've seen the sights around Truce, how about we finally head to Lean Square? Today is the 1000th anniversary of our kingdom's foundation. Enjoy the festivities. I surely would if I were your age. So welcome to the Millennial Fair. There is so much that we're able to do here, and there's a decent chance we're going to be here for a good chunk of this stream. So let's just take in the sights and see what we can do. Alright, so this, I believe, is the main shop here we can go to. So able to buy various items that can be useful to you here. Starting off, we got basic potions for only 10G. I'm actually go ahead and buy a couple more of these, just so we have a nice even supply of 5. We can also get panaceas for pretty cheap too. I'll just go ahead and buy 2. Then we got Athenian water, revives a KO'd ally. Don't need to worry about that at the moment, so we're not gonna do anything with that. And you got a shelter, which you can use to fully restore your party in certain areas. There's nothing we really need to worry about with that, so we're not going to buy it yet. Those runners are busy racing, so they won't answer you if you talk to them. Line up with a bell and press the button when you're ready. Judge your distance carefully, then press A once more. So got ourselves a little bell game here we can play. Way to go! I'll put 1 silver point on your card. So by playing this game here, you're able to earn what's known as silver points. They are the main currency you can get here at the Millennial Fair. And doing several activities here can be good for earning silver points. And of course, you can also spend those silver points once you gather enough to be able to earn some very nice prizes. So you can grind up a good amount of silver points just doing this minigame over and over, but I'm not going to spend too much time here. This kingdom's been through some hard times, like the war against the Fiend Lord 400 years ago. You should be thankful things are so peaceful now. Yeah, we should be thankful. So over here we got an armor stall. So I don't really need to worry too much about armor at the moment. So we're not going to go ahead and buy these just yet. This is Lean Square. Legend has it people who hear Lean's bell live happily ever after. I hear Luca and her father have put together another crazy invention. I just hope it doesn't blow up again like the last one. We can only hope. Melchior the swordsmith at your service. Might I interest you in one of my fine blades? So over here we got Melchior, the local blacksmith. You're able to buy some pretty interesting gear here. The silver sword is definitely very expensive, so we're not going to get that anytime soon. So we might grab some weapons later. I live on the continent to the east. Come and see me if you ever have the need. This merchant said he'd buy accessories if they're in good condition. Maybe I should sell this old pendant of mine. There's a race underway. Be quiet and watch. If you want to try and guess the next winner, talk to me once the runners are lined up over there after the race. So over here we got some racers over here that we were able to bet on. And the winner of the last race was Cadillac. Try and guess the next winner. Yeah, we can try this. So let's go for Steel Runner. So yep, you're able to place a bet on which one of these racers are gonna win. And you can just watch them go. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting little bit here. Reminds me a lot of the dog track from Majora's Mask. And, wow, the guy I bet on just totally did so poorly there. Come on. But yep, you're able to try and guess who is going to win the race. And the winner of the last race was Green Ambler. Yeah, it's a neat little thing you can do to see if you can get some more points, but we're not going to worry about that. It'll be the Green Ambler for sure this time. I can feel it in my bones. Come one, come all to the Tent of Horrors. Spend your silver points here. Put your bravery to the test. Let me check how many points you have. 6. Well, this is good a place as any to spend them. How about we check out the fabled Tent of Horrors? Hello there. Welcome to Norstein Beckler's Tent of Horrors! The spine-tingling show is just about to start! How many silver points would you like to spend? So we got ourselves a mini-game sort of area where you can spend the silver points that we accrue here at the fair in order to play some mini-games. So it'd definitely be worth it to invest a bit in silver points from the various activities around town and see if we can do anything. We could very easily earn the 10 silver points just by doing this, so I'm just gonna grind up a little bit. So that, I believe, should be 10 points. I'm just gonna let those guys go. There's definitely some interesting reasons you want to go into the Tent of Horrors and try to take on these mini-games. One reason in particular is going to be pretty integral to a certain quest later down the line, but we're not going to worry about those details just yet. So I can only afford the 10-point game, so let's try that. I'm Biggs. I'm Wedge. I'm Piet. So now we got ourselves a game where we just gotta try and guess which one of these guys is the correct fellow. I totally wasn't paying attention. I'm Biggs. Oh, you got me. It's a Poyozo doll. It'll spruce up your room. So by doing that mini-game, we earned ourselves a toy. So we actually head back into our house. We can actually see the doll that we won here. And interacting with it reveals it's actually a music box. Grams of cat food, 0. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we can do anything with that. But yeah, pretty cute getting to hear that little bit of extra music there by taking on that trial at the tent. There's definitely a lot of other mini-games we can try out here, so we'll probably take a gander at all of those a bit later. There was a big war hundreds of years ago against the Fiend Lord's armies. My mom said if we'd lost, we wouldn't be having a fair like this today. Yeah, that would certainly suck, wouldn't it? So that's everything we could see down here in the first part of the fair. So how about we head up here? That's a pretty nice looking bell. Excuse me. Ow! Oof! Ouch! I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Uh-oh, my pendant! Oh no, my pendant! Don't tell me I lost it! Looks like this is her pendant. Excuse me. Oh, thank goodness, my pendant! I know it doesn't look like much, but it has a lot of sentimental value. May I have it back? Sure. Thank you. You must live in this town. I came to see the fair. Awfully boring wandering around alone, though, isn't it? Hey, why don't we walk around together for a while? Wouldn't that be great? Sure. Yahoo! This'll be fun! Oh, I never told you my name, did I? It's, So this girl will call herself Marl. However, I thought we could name you Misty. I feel like that's a pretty fitting name for this particular lady. And trust me, there is a reason I'm going with a different canonical name for this character. Don't worry about that. It's Misty, and you're Hayden. What a nice name. Well, pleased to meet you, Hayden. Come on, let's enjoy the fair. So now we get to explore around with Misty here. And there's quite a bit we can get to see. Let me see how many silver points you have on your card. Looks like you got 0. Would you like to exchange 10 silver points for 50 G? So that's another reason to collect silver points, in that you are able to exchange them for money, which can be quite nice. Preparations are still underway. Enjoy yourself in the square for a while. Check back a little later. Nothing like a good fair. Say, have you heard the gossip? No. Well, just between us, I heard the king is tearing his hair out over his tomboy of a daughter. Just once I'd like to meet her and see how wild she really is. Yeah, she must certainly be something, huh, Misty? Let's go talk to some of the other locals around here. Drinking contest, step right up. Press A as fast as you can. Ready, set, go! So you're able to challenge this guy here to a drinking contest. Gotta mash the A button as fast as you can. Not bad, I'll put 5 silver points on your card. You're awfully competitive, aren't you, Hayden? It's nice that you actually get little comments from your partner here for doing certain activities. My kitty ran away! Oh dear. So she is definitely gonna want us to find her. Oh, that looks like the cat. Hey, buddy. So by talking to the cat here, we're able to get it to follow us. I guess since Chrono is a cat owner himself, he certainly knows his way around the little felines. So this guy knows that they can trust us. Let's go deliver you to your owner. You brought back my kitty! Thank you! Hayden, you're so sweet. Yes, I am. You brought back my kitty! Thank you! So now the cat will just stay over here by this stall. Very nice that we're able to help them out. I was worn out from running around, but watching this dance gave me energy again. Catchy rhythm, huh? You can dance along with Y, X, RB, and LB, too. La-di-da-di, I got spending money from the mayor. So it seems we got ourselves like a prehistoric performance here. A prehistoric dance. Entrancing, isn't it? Except you're actually able to emote here by hitting various buttons, which can be pretty nice for get to see a little bit of the different sprite animations here. So all your different player characters can actually have different emotes they can do in this sequence here at this performance. So it's pretty cool getting to see their various actions like this. Oh, prehistoric rhythm. Definitely a pretty interesting performance. Kind of gives some insight into what things must have been like here in this world in the past. But how about we head over this way? My dear old wife made that lunch for me. Always a highlight of my day. Gives me that extra oomph when I'm starting to feel worn down. So over here, there's a bundle of that guy's lunch. If you actually grab it, you're able to restore your stats with it if you take damage. But we're not going to do that at the moment. Go straight ahead if you want to try your hand against Luca's bipedal robot battler, Gatto. You can win silver points if you beat him. Oh, really? Sounds nice. So let's go take on the big lug here. They call me Gatto, I have metal joints. If you can beat me up, you'll earn 15 points. Alright, time to get our first shot at combat. So, Chrono Trigger is a turn-based RPG. Your characters are able to select attacks only when their attack gauge at the bottom fills up, which will fill up at a different rate depending on a character's speed stat. The higher the speed stat, the faster they will be able to act in combat. Earned 10 experience and earned 1 tech point by beating Gatto. Oh no, I have lost, and it seems you won. Here are your 15 points now. Wasn't that fun? I really love this guy. He only shows up here at the fair for the sole purpose of being an enemy you can grind against. But yeah, you're able to earn silver points by battling Gatto. And we're actually looking quite hurt. So we're gonna be sneaky and heal up. Haha, you're such a pig, Hayden. Oh, come on. So yeah, we're gonna want to do a couple battles against Gatto to earn silver points, so we can take on a couple more of the challenges at the tent. And yeah, I just love this big lug. He's got a cool design of being this robot here. So now we have an opportunity. I guess we don't have the ability to use our techs at the moment. Probably because we're not high enough level. So we're just going to keep attacking this guy and see what happens. Now, battles in this game are quite interesting in that your characters will move around the battlefield as the battle goes on. And that can have some interesting effects on how the battle is going to play out. Hayden's level increased. Misty's level increased. Nice. So, Gatto is programmed to perform a counterattack if you strike him while he is close to you. So, that can be pretty obnoxious if you get hit by him, as that can really do a number to you. So we can see we do have techs on these two, but for whatever reason we're not able to use those yet. I mean, we'll do a couple more battles on Gatto and see what we can do. So obviously by defeating enemies, you're able to earn experience points to level up. And leveling up is very crucial to being able to unlock more moves for your characters. God, so close to Marl there that he's just going to be attacking her. So we don't want that. Luckily, Marl has a crossbow, so she'll use that to strike enemies from a distance. Whereas Chrono has a sword, so he has to go up close to an enemy to attack them. Alright, with that, we should have around 45 silver points, which should be more than enough to be able to take on one of the next challenges we can do. So how about we head down here? You know, it'd probably be good to check what we can get from Melchior at the moment. Melchior the Swordsmith, at your service. Might I interest you one of my fine blades? So, the various characters we have use specific weapons. So, Melchior only sells swords, which are only going to be useful to Crono. Now that we're actually getting into combat, I think we're going to buy the bronze blade. So we'll be able to purchase that and then equip our new weapon, giving us increased attack damage. You'll want to try to gain new weapons as soon as you can in order to try and maximize your damage to opponents, as that could be really crucial. And might as well sell the wooden sword since we're not going to need it. Crono's the only character who can use these kind of weapons. So we'll go ahead and sell that for some extra money. I live on the continent to the east. Come and see me if you ever have the need. By the way, is there any chance you could talk that young lady into selling her pendant to me? Sorry. Not feeling up for it. Maybe selling this old pendant of mine. Yeah, I believe we should have enough points for another one of these games. Yeah, we have 50, so we'll easily be able to play another game here. So I'm just going to go into the overworld at the moment, as I actually want to save here, because depending on how things go, we might have a little bit of trouble here with this particular game. Hello, sir. Norstein Beckler. Such an interesting name for this guy. It's weird that he is just a floating head with hands. But, you know, who was us to decide what's considered normal in this world? So we're going to go for the 40-point game this time. Mimic what you see. X for left arm, A for right arm, Y for laugh, B for surprise. So now we got ourselves basically a game of Simon. Start when you hear the signal after I move. And action! So, our mission here is just to mimic whatever our opponent does. If he laughs, if he raises his arms up, we just need to do the correct action. This one could be a little tricky to get right, but as long as you know the timing, you should be good. And I was actually practicing this minigame earlier, and he's doing completely different actions from what I was doing before, so seems like he randomizes all the different actions there. And yeah, that's what I was worried about. Is there I don't think there's gonna be a quick way for us to be able to get back to the title screen so we can reload our save, is there? Alright, just bear with us for a moment while I reload this, because I would rather not have to grind too many more silver points to be able to try and play this again. But hey, this is why we have save files, in case this kind of thing happens. Yeah, as long as you save outside of town, you shouldn't have to worry too much of needing to backtrack to this point if you want to restart this minigame. I mean, it's not something we have to complete now, but it would be very nice if we get this out of the way at the moment. Right, X, A, Y, B. Just gotta concentrate here, so bear with me while I just try to get through this. I might do a couple attempts at this and see if we're able to win it. It's not really a big deal if we get this our first stream here. We can always try again later. Excellent! I'll send this doppeldoll to Hayden's house. So with that, we received the doppeldoll that challenged us in that mimic game. So we now check our room, we can see the dolls right here. Interacting with it will cause it to change its pose, which is just such a fun little detail. Look at this guy go. He's so cool. Yeah, that's a pretty fun game there if you're able to get it right. And believe it or not, completing that mission and getting the doppeldoll is going to be integral to a side quest we're going to see later on in this adventure. Believe me on that. So how about we talk with Melchior again, as I believe there's some things we can do here. By the way, is there any chance I could talk that young lady into selling her pendant to me? I'll try. Oh my, that pendant is! Dear me, I haven't the money to buy a thing like that. Keep it safe. That's a valuable trinket you carry. I wonder why Melchior's not interested in Misty's pendant. Nah, well, we'll probably worry about that later. So there is one more mini-game that we're able to play from getting silver points. And this time we're going to need to collect 80. So We'll probably do a couple battles with Gato to be able to get the points we need. Shouldn't take us too long to get all of this. Alright, how many points do we currently have? So that'll be a good way to gauge how many battles we need to do. So I got 14. You know what? I am going to try and get one more from the Bell game. There, now we got an even 15. So it should easily be able to keep track of how many points we earn from Gato. And yeah, at this point, we'll just keep bashing the big guy and see what happens. It's a pretty good way to grind early on, because there aren't a whole lot of enemies you can encounter at this point in the game. Just try to attack the big lug with everything you got. Sure, you do have to worry about his counterattacks, but we should be good. What I really like is be able to show off our attacks, but we don't seem to have them at this level, which is really weird. Alright. At the very least, doing these battles will earn us tech points in order to earn more skills. Alright, so now we have 30 silver points for beating him that time. So yeah, we're just gonna do a couple more battles with Gato. It's actually quite interesting seeing this guy again, because he's such a minor figure in this adventure. But there was a fan comic that I read many years ago that featured Gato as one of the primary side characters in that game, and certainly an interesting portrayal of this big robot in that particular comic. It was very similar to the typical archetype of the robot who very much does not like humanity. Ooh, we got enough tech points to learn Cyclone, so now we can use that tech in battle. Very good. And we should now have 45 silver points by beating him. Let's go heal up, and we'll go fight him again and demonstrate our new abilities. Alright, so now we can finally go over techs. So techs are special techniques that your characters are able to do. They will typically do more damage than your regular attack, and are pretty good to use whenever you have the opportunity. They will expend MP in order to use a tech, but they are very much worth it. So in the case of a Chrono Cyclone, that is a very nice attack in that not only will it deal damage to an enemy, but since it causes Crono to attack in a circle, it can actually strike multiple enemies if they're around the same target. So this makes Crono very useful for dealing with groups of enemies that are crowded together. Yeah, just the tech system and how it affects the enemies in battle is so freaking good. I really love the combat in this game. It's just such a great advancement of how combat worked in the previous Final Fantasy games, with us having to factor in the position of the enemies on the field when it comes to using our attacks. Just a very cool way of being able to enhance the flow of battle like that. Alright, so by beating Gato here, we should now have 75 points. So let's go heal up, and then we should be ready to do one more battle against Gato. Also, another fun fact about Gato, so there is actually I believe it's an OVA is the term. Well, yeah, there was a Chrono Trigger OVA released many years ago where Gato actually has a pretty big role in that, where he's chasing after a bunch of the various enemy characters that appeared in the game. It's a pretty fun little tidbit regarding this guy and his lasting impact on the series. yeah, I really love Gatto. Just a big punching bag, essentially, but I love the song he sings. I love him attacking with the giant glove that comes out of his chest. And also the fact that he can sing as an attack. Just such a cool concept for a robot enemy here. But anyway, we got ourselves one more minigame to play at Norstein's tent. Let's go give a try at this. For expending 80 points, monsters will close in from above, throw beanbags at them, and push them all the way back into the cage. A hostage you provide will be slowly lowered into the flames. You can buy time by hitting the blue light to raise the rope, but let your friend get charbroiled and the game's over. Defeat all the monsters before the hostage's goose is cooked. Oh dear. So this is our game here. We have to strike these enemies repeatedly in order to be able to knock them back. Well done! Take this cat! So we get a cat as our prize by doing that game. So yeah, you can probably guess what that does. If we return to our house, we now have 2 cats here. Also, hey Mom! Well, this is a pleasant surprise. I never seen you bring any girls around except for Luca. Who's this pretty new friend? I'm Misty. Nice to meet you. Misty, you say? Have we met somewhere before? I could swear I recognize you. Perhaps it's just my imagination. So yeah, it's a very nice little scene you get here if you bring your new party member back to Chrono's home. Just getting to acknowledge your new friend here. Just such a very cute little scene. I love those interactions. But yeah, you can play the mini game there, where you have to throw the beanbags at the enemies, and doing so will increase the number of cats that will be at your home. So we don't need to worry about doing that any further, so I feel like it's a good enough time just to continue on and see what else we can do. Have you heard the gossip? Well, never you mind then. Preparations are still underway. I figured at this point we'd basically be done everything we can do around the fair. You know, I guess we haven't tried our hand at the game over here. Yeah, we can have Misty try to help us decide on who's going to win the race, I guess. They ought to be ready by now. They're setting up at the far end of the square. Ooh, I want to see it. Come on, Hayden. Alright, we'll try one more race here and see. Alright, this time we gotta go for Cadillac. It's such a good name for that particular NPC here in the race. Come on, Cadillac! You got this! Go, 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 go! No, don't let that green bitch take you out! Come on! No! God, this give me flashbacks to my Blue Dog stream I did. Ugh. Everything I frickin' try to decide on to win the race just backfires on me. I've already heard about what you say. Just a minute, I want to get some candy. Okay. We'll just let Misty decide what she wants. Excuse me, I like one of these. Sure, young miss. Thanks for waiting. Yeah, my pleasure. Step right on up, and with the time and courage, our first ever hyperdimensional transporter is the invention of the century. Simply hop up here. And you'll be teleported here. This fantastic machine is the masterwork of my beautiful and brilliant daughter, Luca. What does teleport mean? Luca invented this thing? Wonder what'll go wrong this time. This contraption's supposed to transport objects in the blink of an eye. Give it a try, kid. Oh, it's you, Hayden. Hey there, Luca. Hayden! I was wondering when you'd show up. No one wants to try my telepod. Would you be so kind? Oh, this'll be fun. I'll watch while you try it out. Just hop up onto the left pod. Okay, I guess we're doing this. System activated. Initiating energy transfer. Whoa! Whoa, that was freaky. Ooh, amazing! So, how was it? Want to try it again? So, Luca here, she bears a lot of similarities to another character designed by Akira Toriyama named Bulma, who's a pretty integral figure in the Dragon Ball manga and anime, as they're both inventors who, in the original manga appearance anyway, have purple hair. It's quite interesting to see another similar character pop up in this particular adventure. I mean, with Chrono's spiky hair, he looks very identical to Goku in a few ways. See what Tobin has to say after that demonstration. It worked! Unbelievable! They never... as I was saying, Luca has done it again, ladies and gentlemen! A thrilling display of science at its best! Let's see what Misty has to say about it. That looks like fun! I want to try it too! Huh? Hayden, when'd you manage to pick up a cutie like her? You know, just bumped into her. It's alright, isn't it, Hayden? Just wait right here! Don't run off on me! Behold, ladies and gentlemen, as this vision of loveliness stops aboard the machine! Ha! Okay, I'll be right back! You're sure about this? There's still time to change your mind. No way! I'm not afraid! Alright, let's let her have her fun. Okay, everyone, let's give her a great big hand when she teleports from the platform! System activated! Initiating energy transfer. What's happening? My pendant, it's... Huh? Oh, that can't be good. Oh, no. Misty! Luca, she's not reappearing! Oh, well, alright. As you can see, the girl has vanished before your very eyes. Show's over, folks. Move along. What just happened, Luca? Where is she? The way she disappeared. That couldn't have been the telepod. The way that rift appeared and the way her pendant seemed to be reacting to it. Something else must have caused it all. Well, what are we supposed to do now? Is there any way we can help her? That girl's face was so familiar. I know I've seen her somewhere. The way she disappeared, that couldn't have been the telepod. So yeah, basically getting the same things we've heard before. So yeah, Misty has been teleported away to parts unknown, leaving her pendant behind. Hayden! Oh, you're going after her? What a fine lad! It's the only way. I don't know where that hole leads, but we got no other choice. Let's just hope it opens up again. Well, it's worth a shot. That pendant seems to be the key, so hang on to it, Hayden, and brace yourself. System activated! Initiating energy transfer. Boost the power output! Roger! More! I need more power! Roger! There! I think we did it! So now it's our turn. Good luck, Hayden! I'll follow you as soon as I figure out what went wrong. Oh boy, things are really heating up in the story now. So Misty has now vanished through a mysterious rift, and now we must go after her. Well, this certainly isn't Lean Square anymore, is it? Huh? This doesn't look like the welcoming committee. We got ourselves some blue imps. These are pretty standard enemies. You really don't need to worry too much about these guys. They got basic attacks and go down pretty easily. So we'll just cut them down to size. Also, I love the design of these guys. They look like Emperor Pilaf from Dragon Ball. So by beating those guys, we get some more good stuff, including some money. So that'll be pretty nice for us. So yeah, we're definitely in a more wild area. Got ourselves a bunch of things we can do around here. Plus some more enemies to battle. So Chrono is a pretty capable swordsman. He's got a lot of good power behind him and is pretty much a jack of all trades when it comes to stats. Just excels at pretty much everything. We get another potion from this chest here. And if we head over here, we can grab a power glove. So I believe that is an accessory. We equip that, that increases our strength. So with Chrono, we're definitely going to want more attack power, so that's going to be good to equip. You can only have one accessory at a time, so remember that. And over here, we got some more enemies. Well, we got a group over here. Let's go for Cyclone and take both of those guys out in one blow. Very nice. So yeah, really demonstrates there how good the techs are at dealing with groups of enemies. Crono is especially really good at striking groups, especially with some of the other skills he gets later on. By defeating enemies, you're also able to get items, so we were able to get a potion from those guys we beat. And after leaving that mountain there, we find ourselves in a new world that's very familiar, honestly. Looks like we're just back in Truce. Rooms are 10G for the night. Will you be staying? Yeah, sure. We got dinged up a little bit by the imps. Oh, look at that. We got another black box over here. Once again, a mysterious force seals it shut. There's not much we're going to do about those until much later. But you'll want to remember the location of those boxes for later. Where are you, you say? You some sort of simpleton? Even a half-wit should know this land of Forgardia. Our kingdom wages war with the Fiend Lord's army day and night, fighting to restore the realm's peace. Pray tell you knew that much, at least. No. Truly? You're a wayfarer, then? Suppose you might not know if that's the case. We heard a little bit about a battle against a Fiend Lord, didn't we? Fair? Have you gone mad? There's no time for mirth and mummery. Oh, praise be, they found Queen Lean wandering up in the canyon. She'd been missing for so long, I'd feared the worst. She must be back at the castle by now, getting some much-needed rest. I think our hearts are all a little more at ease now. When Queen Lean disappeared, it was all the king could think of. He fought at the Fiend Lord's doing and dispatched soldiers to the four corners of the realm to find her. But she's been found, and that's all that matters. Oh, we saw this guy walk into the tavern. You an outsider too? The name's Toma. I'm an explorer. And if you can spare 10G to buy this round, I'll be a storyteller too. What do you say? Sure, we'll buy him a drink. Another mug! Cheers, friend! Well then, a promise is a promise. It's about the missing queen. My travels had taken me to the cathedral in the Western Wood, and there's something most peculiar about that place. It's only a hunch, but... Beg your pardon, they found Queen Lean in the canyon? It seems my suspicions were misplaced. So Toma here will tell you about a cathedral that we can find in this area, as well as some information regarding the queen we've been hearing about. I was all but certain something foul was afoot at that cathedral to the west. Well, I hope you enjoy your drink, sir. The Fiend Lord's army laid waste to Zenon Bridge. We lost our only road to the southern continent. So things here in Trucer definitely seem a lot bleaker compared to how things were before. I'm Bonta, the village blacksmith. I'm forging this bell at the king's behest, as a symbol of his love for Queen Lean. The Queen's Vanishing Act had me wondering if all this work would be for naught. After all, what's the bell without the Queen, eh? But it seems they found her in the canyon up north. She's back at the castle now, and I'm back to work. Good luck with that. My husband wants a daughter both clever and fair. Well, good luck with that. So you can find the usual market over here. So, you've a mind to buy some weapons and join the fight against the Fiend Lord's army, have you? Wonderful. But remember to equip the weapons you buy. Not much meaning elsewhere. Good point there. So how about we check in the store? You didn't come all this way just to look, did you? Surely there's something you'd like to buy. So over here we got ourselves some more weapons we can buy, as well as some armor. Considering the current point we are in this game, yeah, I feel like we could invest in some armor. So the padded vest will increase defense by 10, whereas the bronze helm increased by 8. So typically, the main armor will increase your stats more than helms do. So we'll invest in the padded vest. Also, you can see there's a weapon here that Chrono himself cannot equip. So we're not going to worry about that. Let's equip our padded vest, and how about we sell the hide tunic that we don't need? So we're still short on money to buy the bronze helm, so we'll hold off on that for the time being. My thanks, do come again. And if we check around the other places here, a Millennial Fair. Here, have you been in your cups? Our kingdom's only 600 years old. King Garnia the 21st still reigns last as I checked. Huh. So we heard before that it was the year 1000, but now they're claiming it's the year 600. I scarce remember the days before the war against the Fiend Lord began. The months turned to years. When will all this end? So it seems like we may have gone back in time. As we head over to the south, we can see that Zenon Bridge over here that we heard about has indeed been destroyed. The Fiend Lord's army laid waste to this bridge. We're working to repair it, but until Sir Cyrus returns, we must see to the kingdom's defense as well. God, I love the sprite work over there. Just seeing the slight glistening on the water in the distance. So good. This game's visuals still hold up so well. You can find the Manolia Cathedral over here that we heard about from Toma. We pray for the peace of our world. We are ever so devout. Oh, great Lord and Master, deliver your judgment upon the weak and undeserving, that we might reclaim the future for ourselves in your name. Oh, how delicious, delightful looking you are. Why not say a prayer for yourselves? There isn't much we can see here at the cathedral, but at least the music here is nice. Alright, so how about we go check out the castle we heard about? In order to get there, we must first go through Guardia Forest. It's gonna be our first dungeon area in the game. And we got ourselves quite a bit we can see. We can strike 2 enemies with Cyclone over here, so let's take them out. So now we got green imps. I don't know if their stats are a bit higher than the blue imps, but don't have to worry too much about this. Then, of course, we got Roundillos over here. A pretty standard enemy. They're typically found around the imps and really aren't too bad. They'll try to roll into you, but not much else. Oh, now we got these guys to worry about. So now we got imps that are riding on top of the roundillos. So these guys, I believe, are a bit tougher. Not too much for a cyclone to handle. Yeah. We're basically a one-man army over here, aren't we? So it looked like that there was something glinting here in the grass. Got a strength capsule. So yeah, sometimes around these areas you can find a little sparkling glint of something. If you check those, you'll usually find a hidden item. So strength capsules will permanently increase your strength stat. We definitely want to give that to our main character, as Chrono is all about the physical damage, so that'll be really good to deal with to enemies. Increasing your stats is going to be very integral for dealing with threats all throughout this adventure. So let's look around here some more, because you usually find some nice things hidden around these areas. I love the feel of the music around here. Just gives this area a very eerie feel compared to some other places we've been. I mean, it's a forest full of monsters. What do you expect? We shouldn't have to worry too much about these roundillo riders. They go down just the same as everything else around here. Ah! The enemy dropped a shelter! So by checking that bush, you're able to get that thing to drop, allowing you to get a shelter. Quite nice. And I believe you can get a continuous amount of shelters by checking that bush, simply by leaving and re-entering this area. So that could be nice to do every once in a while, just checking on that bush, getting shelters. Could be very nice. Our level increased by beating those guys. Very nice. Alright, so how about we head up this way? Guardia Castle, no trespassing. Yeah, I'll be sure to remember that. If we head all the way over here, dead end ahead. It's a dead end, but we found another one of those black boxes. So we're gonna want to remember that for later. And heading on through the forest, we find ourselves at last at Guardia Castle. Halt! Who goes there? I've not seen your face before, and those outlandish clothes. Wouldn't be one of the Fiend Lord's agents, would we? Huh! Fat chance, look at him! That boy's not built to lift a sword, let alone serve in the Fiend Lord's army. Huh, suppose you're right. Now run along, boy, before we're forced to lock you up in the towers. Stop that at once! Queen Lean! Wait. That man is my friend, and you will treat him as such. But, Your Majesty, there's something strange about his look. You refuse to obey my orders? No, Forgive me, my lady. Please, enter. So that queen looks awfully familiar. Please, pardon us. We no idea you were Her Majesty's guest. I envy you to be favored by the queen. So welcome to Guardia Castle. There's quite a lot we can see around here, so how about we check as much as we can? Go downstairs if you wish to rest. The knight's quarters are below. We did take quite a beating in the forest, so we'll go ahead and do that. Would you like to rest? Thankfully, going to the castle, you don't need to worry about paying here, which is good. The Fiend Lord's troops are strangely quiet. Something must be afoot. If only Sir Cyrus were here. You've heard of him, surely. No? You don't know of the great Sir Cyrus? From what depraved village do you hail? Long ago, a vile beast named Yakra lurked in the western forest. People were loath to wander near. But since the cathedral was built there, no monsters have been since. It seems the place is truly blessed. Zenon Bridge is our last line of defense. It must hold, even should it mean our lives. You're the Queen's friend, are you not? Talk to the maid if you need to rest. Sir Cyrus was commander of the knighthood, sworn to protect the king and queen with his own blade. 10 years ago, he and a lone friend departed on a quest, and no one's heard from them since. What a relief! Now the queen's been found, we can refocus our efforts on the war. So we're definitely learning a lot about this war that we first heard about when we were back in the present day. So it seems like Guardia here is definitely entrenched in a bloody combat against this apparent fiend lord. The dining hall is below. The master of kitchens has a foul temper. Best stay out of his way unless you fancy a tongue lashing. Now it certainly hurt. This dining hall's for members of the knighthood, but you're welcome at our tables. Eat your fill before you go. Hungry, my lord? Take a seat at the upper left corner of the left table. I'm dying. I'm dying of hunger. Well, sorry about that, buddy. Your meal is ready! Finally! Aw, man, I feel you, buddy. I've had those days where I've hardly had anything to eat and I just feel like I'm about to expire. The Master of Kitchens has earned his post. His cooking is worthy of at least 3 stars. The Fiend Lord's troops had better watch out for us. So, you and Her Majesty the Queen are acquainted? The kitchen's a battlefield in its own right. Have you come to season my broth with your lack of culinary expertise? Out! You've no place in my kitchen! Oh, what an old name that good is this ice cream that Her Majesty so wishes I prepare? I don't know, sounds yummy to me. So you can pick up an Ether from that chest. So Ether, as you can probably tell, increases MP. We'll definitely want to hold on to as many of those as we can, as those will be real good for us. Hello, guys. I guess they're coming down to get something to eat. Where's our food and drink? Oh, Commander, beg pardons, it's not quite ready. My men and I risk our lives in this war. Is it so much to ask you keep us fed? Quickly now! Enough of your self-righteous ranting! You knights are the only ones putting your lives on the line for this kingdom! I think I've lost my appetite. I've no stomach for meat braised in cowardice. See that my men are fed. Go find someone else to command! I don't need you telling me how to do my job! Aw, man. So many fun character interactions if you just talk to folks around here and explore all over. Our commander's a good man. The Master of Kitchens but rubs him the wrong way. Yeah, with a spatula, apparently. Our new commander's working hard to fill Sir Cyrus's shoes. Well, I guess there's not much we can do here to dine. Things are a bit crowded over here, so we'll just head out. But yeah, certainly interesting that the Queen apparently knows who we are, and she looks very familiar. King Guardia the 21st sits in audience within. Be mindful of your place. I am to understand you played some role in helping to rescue my lady wife. I owe you a debt of gratitude. Might you know what befell Lead? She's been acting rather oddly since her return, and she seems to have lost the coral hairpin she always wore. She always treasured that thing so. Forgive me, you must be tired. Please, rest in the knight's quarters and down the stairs to the left. I'll speak to the commander. The king's chambers are atop the tower ahead. The knight's quarters are downstairs. Go straight from here, you'll find the stairway on the left. So it's nice that we're getting such a positive reception here from the king and his servants. Definitely quite interesting since we only just got here. And you consider with this kingdom being at war, they'd be a little bit more suspicious about strange folks just happening to come in. But if the queen is vouching for us, then I guess we're fine. What do you want? Be gone from here! Fine. Don't need to deal with you being all shady. Just between you and I, the Chancellor's been acting strangely these days. I've spied him sneaking out of the castle time and time again. The only thing I've noticed out of the ordinary as of late is that the Queen's personal guard, that froggish creature's not been around. They say a curse turned him into a frog, but I question the truth of that. No doubt he's been one of the Fiend Lord's spies all along. People think the Chancellor's behavior is strange, but I don't find it troubling at all. The Chancellor's a man of strong faith. Why, he goes to Manolia Cathedral every day to pray. Might be interesting to look into that. Ooh, we got some armor. So we're able to replace our padded vest with that. Yeah, we probably didn't need to purchase the padded vest after all. If you just get some bronze armor for free by coming to the castle. Yeah, I probably should have remembered that. What do you want? Be gone from here! Fine, we'll let the Chancellor be weird on his own terms, and we'll just go deal with what we gotta do here. The Queen's chambers are above. She's granted you permission to pass. Well, isn't that nice of her? Let's go check in on Queenie and see what she's up to. Just making sure there's nothing hidden around here. Because you can usually tell that there's something hidden if you see an exclamation mark appear above Chrono's head. So I think we're pretty good here. Just able to grab some extra items by checking around these floors and opening some chests. Her Majesty awaits you. Alright, let's go check on the Queen. It's been over 10 years since Her Majesty first came to this castle, but she's scarce aged a day. In fact, she looks even younger now than she did before her disappearance. You're the one who saved our Queen. I'd expect one a bit more dashing. Come on. Not that bad. Ah, there you are. Please leave us. I need to have words with this man in private. As you wish, Your Majesty. Come nearer. Don't be shy. Fooled you, didn't I, Hayden? It's me, but everyone keeps calling me Lean for some reason. So this is what happened to Misty. I'm glad you came. We were only together for that short time at the fair, but somehow I knew you'd come for me. Not gonna lie, she's really pulling off that dress. Thank you, Hayden. What's happening? I feel like I'm being torn apart! Help me, Hayden! I'm scared! It's like I'm dying! Please, Hayden, help! So that's the second time we've lost Misty. We gotta do something about this. Her Majesty's dismissed you already? You didn't engage in any untoward behavior, did you? Of course not. I'm a gentleman. Let us hope that's the case. By the way, did Her Majesty seem somehow not herself? No. Truly, perhaps I worry over much. A great number of things change as the years go by. But if there's one thing that will never be the same, it's women and their insufferable love of gossip. I have no comment on that. Well, there's not much we can do here, so let's just go. Hayden! Hey, it's Luca! Whew! You're okay! Did you find the girl? She what? She disappeared? It's just as I thought then. I knew I recognized her from somewhere. We seem to be in Guardia. but it looks a lot older than the Guardia we're from. They must have mistaken that girl for her ancestor. After all, that girl was our Princess Nadia. Wait, what? Misty, that is, Princess Nadia, is a descendant of Queen Lean. Well, that explains a few things. Queen Lean was kidnapped, and someone was supposed to have gone and saved her, but now history's been changed. Misty looks so much like the Queen they probably called off their search when she appeared. But if the real Queen is killed... Nah, nah. Man, that's embarrassing, getting killed by an imp. Misty will never have existed. But there might still be enough time. If we can save the Queen, history as we know it should remain unchanged. Something must happen to the Queen in this era if she isn't rescued. And if something happens to her, her descendant, Princess Nadia, will never come into being. We have to find the real Queen. So now Luca joins our party. She's a little weaker than we currently are, but don't worry, we'll get her leveled up soon enough. So we can see she actually has a tech we'll be able to learn. That's going to be quite nice for us to get. I am to understand you played some role in helping to rescue my lady wife. I owe you a debt of gratitude. Might you know what befell Lean? She has been acting rather odd since her return. So yep, our mission here is clear. We have to find the Queen in order to save Misty's life. And we managed to get Luca into our party too. So now, before we end off this session, I feel it would be a good idea for us to head back into town and to try to get some equipment for Luca, since we have her in the party now. So Luca is definitely a bit more of a technical party member. I would probably consider her a mage, all things considered, even though she doesn't do magic attacks. However, she does possess the ability to unleash elemental damage on enemies once she gets a couple more techs. In fact, I think it would be a good idea to do some grinding in this area. Yep, you're able to get a shelter from that guy every time you check him. So yeah, there's really no reason to buy shelters if you can get them for free here. But yeah, I can recommend doing a bit of grinding to try to get Luca's tech, as that'll be very useful to us in battle. So yeah, we'll just fight a couple of these guys here. Yeah, we should be able to cyclone both of them. So yeah, Luca's probably not the better damage dealer out of our main party members right now, but she will get pretty good. Oh, there we go. We got Flamethrower, and we learned Fire Whirl Dual Tech. Now that's something we'll definitely want to see in battle here. So now going into battle, we're going to wait a bit so that we can get Luca's next attack. So now we're able to use her Flamethrower skill. That unleashes a fire elemental attack on enemies, which is certainly very nice. But as we learned before, we now have access to what's known as a dual tech. So we wait until we are both able to act now. We can now select the dual tech Fire Whirl. So dual techs are only able to do if two characters have compatible techs. So this combines Chrono's Cyclone with Luca's Flamethrower in order to deal a very powerful fire elemental attack on enemies. That is just a really cool use of these skills in this game, being able to use your techs in tandem with your other party members to unleash these really powerful moves against enemies. God, it's so good. I love the combat in this game so much. But anyway, we're gonna head back into here, and we can buy a new gun for Luca, the pea shooter. So we're gonna go ahead and buy that for her. I'm probably gonna kick myself if we are so close to getting a new weapon for her. Yeah, she starts off with an air gun, and we're gonna give her the pea shooter. So now she can shoot vegetables at enemies instead of puffs of air. And is there anything else we can get here? She already has a padded vest equipped, so we don't need to worry about that. We sadly can't afford the bronze helm, so we're just gonna go ahead and sell the air gun and the padded vest that we don't need. Actually, we could buy a bronze helm at the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and buy that. My thanks, do come again. And I'm probably gonna give that to Luca, since she has less defense than Chrono does. Oh, we can see that Luca's actually really close to another level up. So I might actually head back to Truce Canyon. Let's fight these guys and see if we can get another level up. But yeah, you're really starting to get to see a lot of what this game is going to entail, especially when it comes to combat, which I said before is just a really cool enhancement of the combat that Square Enix was developing with games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. As I said before, this game is basically a love letter to classic RPGs of its time, and was very much a passion project between the developers of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. So I think we're going to heal up at the inn, and then I think that's where we're going to call it for today. So we're about an hour and a half into this session. Managed to get a lot done here. Managing to head back in time, and managing to reunite with Luca following what happened to Misty here. But yeah, it's quite interesting the way this game is set up. So a big theme of this game is time travel, as well as the concept of the butterfly theory, where our actions in the past will have a major impact on the future. In this case, because our buddy Misty was mistaken for the Queen, they called off the search for the Queen, and now she is being kept somewhere. And due to that, Misty has now been erased from time. So if we're gonna restore things here, we gotta find the Queen in order to bring Misty back. So yeah, we are going to be calling things here, and later this week we should be jumping back into Chrono Trigger in order to save the Queen as well as Misty. Until next time, have a good day and take care, everyone.